Hey everybody, it's ASIC Eric and the ubiquitous Pops, and we're back on this guy today. So today we're gonna wrap this up, just basically priming it on the top here and the underside. We're gonna put some short strand in there, seal everything up, prime it. So hopefully a short day, not too much work, and then we can bolt this thing back together for good, hopefully, or at least for a long time. So that's it. This thing's all ready to go. All the welds are finished and everything. So it's just prepping it for paint now.
Kind of weird animal.
Alright, so just hit it real quick with the 80 grit roll lock to just scuff everything up and get it ready to go. I was just telling Pops, one of the funny things here, you notice that front line's not straight right there. It's too far back right here relative to this, but I just followed the curves of this thing when I did the cut, but I'm just going to leave it. I don't care. You can't see it anyway. It's under the car. So get some short strand fiberglass up in here now. All right, there we have the short strand. I don't think it's perfect, but I pressed it down in there real hard. So the point is to just plug up any pinholes and the welds and stuff. Hopefully that will take care of that. When all is said and done, we'll go put a coat of seam sealer over all of this too, but for now, just this. So we'll let that cook for a little bit and then start sanding it down. It's pretty cold. It's only about 50 in here. So this stuff's gonna probably take a little while to cure. I tried to put a little extra hardener in it, but you know how that goes, it's guesswork. All right, we're all set here. So we didn't really do anything on the top. I don't know if I got a real good view of it last time. So I had to split that thing up there to open it up, a relief cut, so I had to weld that up. I had to bend this stuff up pretty good and get it all sorted out. But it came out nice. Like I said, I think it looks pretty good. Just went over it with a fresh disc of 80 grit, as Roger was pointing out. Before you put the paint on there, you need something for your epoxy to stick to. Make sure you use a fresh disc to get a nice tooth on it. Hopefully you can see how toothy that is. Alright, the bottom's done. Let me show you that. Alright, see that's all short strandified. A little close up on that stuff. So this is not perfect, but it's under the car, so I'm not going to get too crazy about it. I think it looks pretty nice though. Same thing, hit this with fresh 80 grit under there, even though we'd pre-sanded it before. Just gave it a nice clean sanding. Then I scotch-brighted all the paint down to the edges there, soft-edged the tape. Hopefully you can see that. The whole bottom of the car is going to have to be touched up later when we're done, so I'm not trying to get this done. We're just going to put it in primer. Most of the underside of the car has got single stage urethane on it, so we're not going to bother with that now because we're going to keep scratching up the car, I'm sure. Anyway, so put some paint on it. Alright. Alright, let's keep clear out. We don't want to paint. Okay?
Yeah.
Trash in that. The big fish eye or something there from some oil or something they got on that. Alright.
You got to still have the flashlight underneath.
Yep. Alright, we're all done. Came out pretty nice. You can see the trash in it, that little crater there, but it's fine. It looks good. Paint came out okay in here. The underside came out pretty good. So it was quite hard to paint up in here, of course. I did end up putting a few runs in it along the sides here and stuff. This spot right here, I took an acid brush and ran it up under that edge right there to try and make sure paint got up in there. I just got a little too ambitious right there, but you know, overall, that crooked thing that I talked about earlier there, that looks pretty nice, I gotta say. The soft edge worked out real well. You can see right here, can't even feel it. That's good. So that'll be real easy to fix when we come along to finish the bottom of the car. But yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. So next week we're gonna put the car back together, I think. So we are moving on to body work again. So if anybody has any suggestions on the best way to go about this, I'm thinking what we want to do is put all the panels on the car, the hood, valance, everything, check all the gaps, body lines, and if there's any welding and such we need to do to correct gaps and stuff, we'll do that. And then strip this thing down, and the other panels, strip them down and prime them and all that stuff. Or would you recommend stripping and epoxying this first before we put it back on the car? I don't know the answer to that. So anybody has any thoughts on that, that would be great. The order of operations here before we start putting this thing back together. And that's going to do it for this week. Thanks everybody, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.